CTE teacher for the junior class at Canyon Springs High School.
We just have a few questions about cyberbullying. What do you think is cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying is where any person goes online in order to attack another person instead of doing it face to face or just in person. So they go online as a means to attack another person.
How do you think cyberbullying affects teenagers these days?
I think that cyberbullying is probably pretty impactful for teenagers. We did not have that as a means to attack people back when I was in school, so much of what was done, but you didn't necessarily find out about it. But now it's so public, it gets shared, so that the bullying that happens is kind of out there for everybody to see. So it feels probably much more impactful, I would think, because it is out there for everybody to see. So I would assume that it would be much more impactful for whoever's getting bullied, because just it's more wide of an audience to actually view or see that bullying that's going on.
And this is just the last question, do you think, is there any way we can decrease it?
I think the best way to decrease it is as people in general have to stand up against it. They have to actually be the ones to stop the bullying. If people will actually stop it and do not go along with it and accept it and shut down the bullying when they see it, and it's got to be a mass of people. It can't just be one person say, hey man, stop it. It's got to be everybody telling that person that it's unaccepted. It's because it's so accepted that they feel free to go ahead and continue with their bullying and everything else. So that's my opinion, is when it becomes socially unacceptable to doing it is when it will stop.
Thank you so much for your time.
Alright, so what's the question?
What is your opinion about cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying, I think cyberbullying is horrible. Like, there's many cases where teens, even like adults, they commit suicide because of these online predators that use very descriptive and vulgar words against these people, and I think it's just something that should be stopped altogether.
And how can you lessen it?
How to lessen cyberbullying, you can't completely stop it because it's very prevalent in society, so stopping it would be like it would be an incredible project to do, but we can lessen it by maybe adding more restrictions on words that could be typed out, because online gaming and stuff like that, they're not censored. You could change that in the options and stuff, but it should be something that is not an option, and they should censor these words so that it could lessen down the cyberbullying rates. Yeah.
Can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, my name is Mrs. Woods. I teach here at Canyon Springs High School. I teach the Cyber Patriot team, and part of our focus and the focus of the National Cyber Patriot organization is to get out media and information, publications, schooling materials, knowledge for organizations about cyberbullying and the dangers, as well as helping students and parents answer questions with national hotlines or online tips and tools to help them.
What is cyberbullying in your words?
Well, cyberbullying constitutes a lot of different positions or information, I should say. First of all, it can happen by any form of technology, whether it be your cell phone, media, computer, laptop, tablets, instant messages, Skyping, anything Facebook, Snapchat. Cyberbullying can happen in all those forms. So it's anything that's through the use of technology by ways of sending hate messages, hate pictures, information, videos, defaming another person in any manner constitutes cyberbullying.
Should someone who's getting cyberbullied go to the police?
Absolutely, and even before going to the police, you should always document everything. So a constant documentation, so do not delete, and you can even save the Snapchat, the instant messages. Don't delete anything, document everything by keeping a log, keeping an electronic record of everything and a written record of everything. This all counts as evidence for the police. So absolutely, because if someone thinks they're doing it just innocently or fun, it's not innocent, it's very harmful, and all this becomes evidence. And new laws for cyberbullying have passed, so now there are some very strict regulations and penalties for people, so the evidence is very helpful.
how can government educate people, especially children, about the harm of cyberbullying?
How can other people or how-
Government.
Well, I think the best way to do it is first of all be knowledgeable yourself. It's constantly changing, so keep aware of all the information. And I think one of the best places to do that is Stay Safe Online, which is a great tool because parents can have that, teachers, students, individuals. So you have to be knowledgeable yourself as to what constitutes that. And then once that knowledge is there, to share with your friends and to make sure looking out, protect each other, care for each other, be there for one another. I think that's very, very important. And so first educating yourself to what it is. So we're knowledgeable, that helps, knowledge is power. And after having that knowledge, making sure you're not just a bystander, making sure that you actively care and involved.
You mentioned Stay Safe.
Sorry about the commercial in the background.
That's good. You mentioned Stay Safe Online. I would recommend that to everyone. I checked it out. The website is really great and helpful for those who are new.
Very, very helpful and informative. And again, it's staysafeonline.org. There's a lot of tools and resources for parents and students, teachers, business people, organizations, because cyberbullying doesn't just happen in school. It's occurring with adults too, unfortunately. And that's why the laws are changing. So the more we get educated, the more we understand, the better prepared we are to help each other.
That's good. I have one last question for you. What percentage of people get cyberbullied every day?
Every day. Wow, that's a tough statistic to state. Thank goodness it is coming down. But I believe initially it was like in the 80%, 83 percentile. In the past year, again, because we've become educated and knowledgeable, I believe it's coming down in the 60s. But the issue with the statistics, what makes it hard is that it's not everybody reports it. Some are very embarrassed. So the statistic numbers are variables, are constantly changing because we're like, how many are not reporting? How many are too embarrassed to report? So I think even though those numbers are high, I think it still represents people that aren't sharing and they don't know what to do or don't know how to approach it. So we obviously want those numbers to come way down, but we do want people to be informed, and we are glad when they report it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.